So this is, of course, Lord Krishna speaking here to Arjuna. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this verse, the word buddhi yogam is very significant. We may remember that in the second chapter, the Lord, instructing Arjuna, said that he had spoken to him of many things and that he would instruct him in the way of buddhi yoga. Now buddhi yoga is explained. Buddhi yoga itself is action in Krishna consciousness. That is the highest intelligence. Buddhi means intelligence and yoga means mystic activities or mystic elevation. When one tries to go back home, back to Godhead, and takes fully to Krishna consciousness in devotional service, his action is called buddhi yoga. In other words, buddhi yoga is a process by which one gets out of the entanglement of this material world. The ultimate goal of progress is Krishna. People do not know this. Therefore, the association of devotees and a bona fide spiritual master are important. One should know that the goal is Krishna, and when the goal is assigned, then the path is slowly but progressively traversed and the ultimate goal is achieved. When a person knows a goal of life but is addicted to the fruits of activities, he is acting in karma yoga. When he knows that the goal is Krishna, but he takes pleasure in mental speculations to understand Krishna, he is acting in jnana yoga. And when he knows the goal and seeks Krishna completely in Krishna consciousness and devotional service, he is acting in bhakti yoga or buddhi yoga, which is the complete yoga. This complete yoga is the highest perfectional state of life. A person may have a bona fide spiritual master and may be attached to a spiritual organization, but if he is still not intelligent enough to make progress, then Krishna from within gives him instructions so that he may ultimately come to him without difficulty. The qualification is that a person always engage himself in Krishna consciousness and with love and devotion render all kinds of services. He should perform some sort of work for Krishna, and that work should be with love. If a devotee is not intelligent enough to make progress on the path of self-realization, but is sincere and devoted to the activities of devotional service, the Lord gives him a chance to make progress and ultimately attain to him. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajyatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. This is a quite important and famous verse in the Bhagavad-gītā, where Krishna, he tells how sincere devotee will achieve him, how a sincere devotee will actually develop real love for the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Krishna is seated in the heart of everyone. And when a devotee dedicates himself to serving Krishna, then Krishna reciprocates and is also giving him intelligence and all help from within so that the devotee can ultimately come to him. I mean, this is what this verse here says. And buddhi yoga, this verse talked about buddhi yoga. Buddhi means intelligence. We have from the name Buddha, means the enlightened one, so it's a Sanskrit word, means buddhi, intelligence, and yoga means connecting. So actually here we are talking about two intelligences connecting, that of the soul and that of Krishna. Krishna, of course, has unlimited intelligence, the soul has limited intelligence. But when the soul uses his limited intelligence to achieve Krishna, to be sincerely trying to serve Krishna, then Krishna reciprocates and he gives his intelligence to the devotee, which means that the advancement becomes very, very easy. The devotee becomes perfect by Krishna's intelligence and power. Others will have to work on their own and use their own limited intelligence and energy. And these paths are very, very hard and strenuous. But devotional service, bhakti yoga, is actually very easy if one is sincere, because Krishna helps. Krishna reciprocates and gives one full intelligence. So then, full intelligence, enough intelligence to understand how shall I progress towards developing love for Krishna, which is the goal of life. Love for Krishna, for the Supreme Lord, love for God, is the actual goal of life. And this is what will make everyone, all of us, actually happy. Everyone is searching for love, and love is what is the only thing that actually can make one happy. All living beings have this propensity to love someone and be loved by someone. Even in animals it is found. Dogs are very lovable, aside from whatever else they are. They actually like to love and express affection. Small child, immediately it has, love has not been developed, but it has love for mother, father, a little later, then for brothers and sisters, and then as it grows up, there's love for the family and the community and the village in which you're living and so on, and then it expands, and at one point it can become even love of a whole nation, and it can become love of humanity. Great philanthropists have love for humanity and so on. And that's natural. We have this loving propensity. Still, our love is not satisfied, even if we come to the point of loving the whole humanity. Still, we will not be satisfied. Prabhupada would very often give the example of Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi, who was, considered the greatest philanthropist in Indian history, and even his portrait is still on the money circulated. So he sacrificed himself completely for love of his countrymen, but in the end he was very unsatisfied and very frustrated, and he was killed. That was a reciprocation of that love. It wasn't satisfied. He was very unsatisfied in the end. We know it's a known fact. Because unless one's love expands to our source, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, actually we haven't found the real object of our love. But then again, on the other hand, if one develops love for Krishna, then all satisfaction is there, all enlightenment is there. Prabhupada gives the example of a light switch. We might be in a dark room and trying to find our way. But then if you find a light switch and just turn it on, immediately everything can be seen. So developing love for Krishna is actually the switch that immediately brightens everything, that turns on everything, just like that. And it's pretty miraculous and also simple and straightforward. I don't know, all of you probably experienced that or I've heard about it. You read about it in the Shastras, but I know for myself, when I got in touch with Krishna consciousness, it was like a light being turned on. Not that I had any love for Krishna, I still don't have any love for Krishna, but at least I knew what the goal was, and that in itself immediately brightens everything. One can see this. This is the purpose of life, and that is the process. When one so then one hears, I should develop love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. Then, of course, the next question is how to do that. How do we do that? And that is explained in this verse here. Love is, of course, a reciprocal thing. It has to be two persons. That's also why it's important to understand that we are real persons. We're not unreal. We are real persons. Krishna starts in the Bhagavad-gītā by saying we are persons eternally. In that simple, straightforward verse, there has never been a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor will any of us cease to exist in the future. We are eternal beings. There Krishna says, what we are now, we have always been, and we will always be in the future. It's not that we at one point stop being individual persons. We are individual persons eternally. And Krishna is an individual person eternally. And that makes it possible to have loving relationships. Other philosophies, which, it's not the philosophy of Bhagavad-gītā, and actually which is not reality, but there are philosophies where, that personality is unreal. And at one point we all become one and the same, and we all become God, and like that. Aside from, these philosophies being, illogical, and also certainly not according to Shastra, but also such ideas destroy the possibility of loving exchanges. It takes two to have loving exchanges. That's what it makes it, dynamic. Otherwise, self-satisfaction is a state of shanti, of peace, but love is a state beyond that. Dynamic, ecstatic states. So Krishna, he first immediately starts declaring we are all persons, and that means loving relationship is possible between us and between the Supreme Lord. And but we have to go to the Supreme Lord to really have fulfilled love, because having love for the Supreme Lord means also having love for everything. Then it becomes universal, because all living beings are actually parts of the Lord. All living beings are, you can say, sons, children of God. So that means we all have the same Father. We're all brothers and sisters. In that way, one can actually have experience real love for all living beings and for everything. In this verse here, Krishna also points out it has to be reciprocal. Love is a reciprocal thing. And it's something, two persons are there, two individuals are there, and the love is a question of giving. Krishna is giving already. What is Krishna not giving? He's giving us air and light and food and protecting us, and everything has been supplied to us. So he's already there, and he's also in our heart and giving us intelligence and witnessing us and being with us all the time. He's there. But the real relationship has to start with us giving to Krishna, serving. This verse talks about service, and that's one thing that characterizes actual love. It's not an emotion; it's an activity. Love is an activity. Prabhupada would always point out that love means activity. You do something. You do something. I heard him yesterday give a lecture. He was giving the example of a newly married couple, and then at the marriage, and the wife say, "I love you" to the husband, but she doesn't want to go with him. She wants to stay with her family. She doesn't want to follow him and come and live with him and serve him. And how can that be love? Just declaring love, or just no? There has to be action. Has to be action. Or Prabhupada would also give the example the other way: the husband saying, "I love you, and then the wife asks you, could you please help me with this? Can you do that? Can you bring out the garbage?" And the husband said, "No, why should I do that? I don't want to do anything, but I love you." So love is, symptom of love is action, service. You want to act for the pleasure of your beloved. And so that is it. And that starts when it comes to Krishna, is already doing so much for us. So when we want to develop love for Krishna, it starts with us giving to Krishna. That's why the general injunction is, whenever you come to a temple, you should bring something. Something should be given. And it doesn't mean something costly necessarily. Bring a flower, bring a fruit, give a coin, give. Start giving, because that's how the relationship and reciprocation starts. We don't just go to the temple and pray to Krishna, please give me this, and please help me with this, and please give me your mercy, and please save me, or whatever. No, we should give. We should give, and then the relationship starts. So Krishna says, serving. One should serve Krishna. Because the point is also, we may not have much love for Krishna, but that can be developed. A symptom of love is that one serves. And, so those who have love, they will serve. But it also goes the other way. Those who serve will develop love. So I must say, I don't have any feeling of love for Krishna, but then serve, do something, start acting, serving Krishna, and then love will develop from there. It's within us. Nitya Sita Krishna Prema Shada Kapanoi Sravanadi Sudatita Korya Odai. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. That the eternal perfection of having love for Krishna is already there in the heart of all of us, and it has to be brought out. And it's been brought out by service, which especially starts with Sravanadi, with hearing about Krishna, talking about Krishna, remembering Krishna, and serving him, doing things for him practically. But especially hearing and then chanting, that's where it starts. Then from there it will develop. The art is to start and come to the point where actually one is serving Krishna constantly, especially by remembering him. If nothing else, one can remember Krishna, and that is already a service. And then whenever there's chance, one will also do whatever is necessary, or what opportunity one has to please or act for Krishna's interest. And then Krishna will be in the heart. He will reciprocate. But especially hearing and chanting are the main services that will bring one to Krishna. Srinvatam Swagata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. Srinvatam Swagata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. Hriyandasto Hriyapadrani Vidunoti Suritsatam. This is from the Bhagavad-gītā. That it says that Lord Sri Krishna, and it's very much similar to this verse here that we read, Lord Sri Krishna, who is a super soul, who is seated within everyone's heart, and who is the well-wisher of his devotee. Of course, Lord Krishna is a well-wisher of everyone, but he is especially the well-wisher of a devotee who wants to develop love for him and approach him, will cleanse all impurities in the heart from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear about him, to hear about his messages. That is directly like that. Krishna reciprocates. That's why we should, for example, read the Bhagavad-gītā every day and hear lectures about Krishna. And we should read kirtan about Krishna. And we should chant Krishna's name. And these things we can do. And then Krishna in the heart, he will cleanse from within all the material desires and material attachments, which now they are what is blocking our relationship with Krishna. Ultimately, real love for Krishna is only possible for those who have no desires, no external desires, only desire for Krishna. So I may say, I don't have that. I have so many desires. But Krishna will purify if one one engages in constantly hearing about Krishna and serving Krishna and remembering Krishna from within. Krishna is so close. That's also another point. Krishna is not far away. He's so close within us. And therefore, especially in this age, it's been recommended by the acharyas, the process is given by Lord Chaitanya, chant Krishna's name. Get in the habit of chanting Krishna's name. We've been given the technique and the practice of japa meditation. And it's such a, many often say, but I cannot do anything for Krishna, and I don't have time or anything. Of course, that's, Krishna is time. And we have time for so many other things. But then at least find time to, get your japa mala. And does everyone here have a japa mala? You know what a japa mala is? So everyone must have a japa mala, and you must have it on you with you all the time. If you don't have a japa mala, we have them. They've been sold over there. You should get one for you, and it should be your dearest, most treasured possession. And then get in the habit of, chanting. Take one round. Start with one round, chanting Krishna's name. Just sit down and chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Just chant Hare Krishna again. Chant. Address Krishna directly. Japa is addressing Krishna. Oh my Lord, Krishna, oh Lord Ram, oh energy of Krishna, please engage me in your service. This is what one is addressing Krishna constantly. And that chanting in itself will drag one towards Krishna, and Krishna will reciprocate amazingly. And then one should add more and more and more. The point is not to change one's life radically. Krishna doesn't ask that. He simply you add Krishna to your life. We add Krishna to our life. Just add, chanting, add hearing, add reading, add associating with devotees. Oh, that is so important. All this, developing love for Krishna has to take place in association with other like-minded devotees who have the same goal, who also want to develop their love for Krishna. And one should endeavor to associate with those who are more advanced than oneself, so one can learn from them. That's how the process is a process of learning from advanced devotees, guru, disciple. That's a principle. So one follows in the footsteps of those who are advanced. Ultimately, follow in the footsteps of the great acharyas, the great Srila Prabhupada, and the line back. But associate with devotees. That is the most important, and chanting is the most important. They are all the most important. But in association with devotees, one will also start chanting. But we can all do that. If you're not doing it already, please start chanting. One round on your japa mala every day, 2 rounds, 4 rounds. Gradually increase. 16 rounds is proper standard for initiation. Come to that level. Why not? And come more. One can add. One can chant more. There's no upper limits. And the point is, come to the point of constantly serving Krishna, chanting, hearing, serving, doing, and even one's ordinary activities. Everyone will have ordinary activities, so they should not be neglected. That is one of the instructions. One should not be neglectful in ordinary dealings, but one should do them with the right consciousness. Even my ordinary dealings, I'm doing it for Krishna. These are part of my service to Lord Krishna, to do my ordinary activities very first class. And so the point is to come to the point of establishing this relationship with Krishna. And we have to choose. That's another point that characterizes what love actually is. It's completely voluntary. It's completely free. And Krishna does not want to, in any way, break that freedom, take the freedom away from us. We have to choose it, and we have to choose every moment. I think it's obvious that love means freedom, isn't it? Because how can we force anyone to love? As soon as there's some force, you put a gun to someone's head and say, "Love me." I mean, how can that? That's not possible. Or buy. Here is a million, and then you buy it, and you love me. Oh yeah, I love you very much. But this is not love. And that's why often, rich people, we can pity rich people. They don't have anyone around who loves them. You just have those around them who are greedy for their money. You can become very lonely if you're very rich. That's very common. Because love has to be completely voluntary. It's free. So we have to give our freedom and freely choose to love Krishna, and Krishna then immediately reciprocates. He's just waiting for that. And this is what everyone is looking for. Everyone is looking for that. It's a higher. It is the actual satisfaction and the actual fulfillment that everyone is looking for. We've been given it. Bhagavad-gītā gives it. It's an open secret in the Bhagavad-gītā. Bhagavad-gītā is not a secret book. Still, Krishna, he says, this is the most secret of all knowledge, because most time we do not want to be here, because we want to be without Krishna. So we have to confront ourselves and just face the fact. No, I want Krishna, and I have to conquer this low desire that I'm rebelling against Krishna. And Krishna will help. Krishna is there to help us. When we engage in approaching Him by actually serving Him and hearing about Him, etc., and then Krishna will also arrange whatever is necessary for us to come to Him and develop actual love for Him. Okay, we have 5 minutes left. Any questions, Marji?
Thank you. In the purport, it said that if a person doesn't have the intelligence to make progress, Krishna will help if they try with sincerity. So I was wondering, what does it mean to be sincere?
Sincere means that you have no other desire, or at least you may have other desires, but when it comes to an either or, then no, Krishna is my main desire. Then you're willing to give up other desires. Sometimes, we can have parallel. We can still maintain some of our desires and still practice Krishna consciousness. But Krishna will also bring it to a point where he says, okay, either or. Now you choose me. Now you are this. So a sincere person will say, Krishna, I'll give up everything else. So you have to have that sincerity. That is, So with the sincerity, even though one might not be very intelligent, seemingly, but that is intelligent to be sincere. But you may not have a big IQ. Of course, you must be having an big IQ. But some of us who do not have a big IQ. But if we are sincere, then Krishna, He will give the necessary intelligence, which may be, again, that doesn't mean that you become suddenly have an IQ of, what, 100, is 150 big IQ? Yeah. So it doesn't mean that a Krishna suddenly will make you like a brilliant Einstein or something like that. But you'll know, you'll have common sense also, and you'll know what you should do to come to Krishna. You'll give that intelligence. And yeah. Yeah.
You have been into Krishna consciousness for so many years, and still you said that you don't have love for Krishna.
Yeah.
You are so humble.
Yeah, or just realistic. But therefore I try to stay around you and others who have love for Krishna, so I can, so there's some hope.
Even after practicing some years in the devotional service, I don't get any reciprocation from Krishna. So in this situation, how can I maintain my faith, passion, and enthusiastic feeling toward my sadhana? And
But
how can I understand when Krishna is actually reciprocating to me?
But what I don't think everyone could hear, but he says even after practicing for some years, and Krishna doesn't reciprocate, there's no reciprocation from Krishna. What do you mean? You're sitting here in association of devotees. Krishna is, he's feeding you every day. He's, you're breathing Krishna's air. You have a desire to become Krishna conscious. Krishna is arranging. How can you say he's not reciprocating? He's reciprocating every moment. But and also he might reciprocate by enlightening you from within, and you discover I'm actually very empty within and don't have any love. That's also Krishna's reciprocation. That's a part of his. He enlightens us, so we discover sometimes what is inside us, and sometimes that can be a little shocking, because I thought I was such a loving and warm person. I'm full of love for everyone. Then I suddenly discover, no, I'm just thinking about myself. So, it's part of the whole process. We go through different stages, and when one starts practicing sincerely, then one is going through a long stage called anartha nivritti, means the purification of all unwanted qualities within, all the attachments, and anarthas means unwanted things. So, but of course, Krishna is reciprocating. That's, and in our part, so in our the seed of love actually starts with gratitude. We might feel, I don't have any feeling for Krishna, but at least we can feel grateful. That is under our control. Other emotions are not under our control. And it's not, love really is shown not by emotions, it's by action. But an emotion we are in control of is being grateful. Isn't it? And that great gratitude is actually the seed of the greater feeling of love for Krishna. But let's not confuse that, love means only emotion. Love means actually serving Krishna even though there's no emotion. A mother has love for her child, even though sometimes she has no feeling for the child. But she'll go on serving and feeding the child, even though sometimes it's, just, getting too much with this, screaming child. I don't love it. But mother goes on. If mother was only serving your child when she felt love, and if she didn't feel love, then the child would have to starve. Would that be a mother that has love? No. So real love is you go on serving no matter how you feel. Jai. Sisi Gaura Nitai ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Go Premanande.